Hello golfers, Bryan Pate here. I want to talk about the bump and run. I'm going to use the TourStriker PlaneMate on my hips to help demonstrate this. What I'm going to do is take the clasp, put it on the big end, and put it just below the grip. I got my toe up in the air, so this is on the trail side club face. I'm going to tighten it down just enough to be secure. From there, I'm going to take the big clip, put it on top, and go downwards. So there's 3 R's I want you to think about when you're doing bump and runs and chipping around the greens on the small shots. The first one is, can we set our radius? And the radius is, if I'm set up to a golf ball and my arm, my lead arm is bent too much coming through, if that extends, the club's gonna work away from me and more into the ground. So what we wanna do is set a comfortable long left arm so there's a little bit of tension on this band. If I go too long, now it's going to stretch it out even more. So we're going to keep an eye on how much tension we have throughout this shot. So what we want to do is, just like in previous chipping videos, narrow heels, about a club head width, lead foot's flared out. So it's about 2.5 club widths. The ball's in the middle of that. So the first R is, can we set our radius? And again, that's me feeling the left arm is comfortably long, like I'm pushing out the end of the club head. From there, the second one is, can we retain that tension, or can we retain the radius in the backstroke? So I haven't pushed and gone longer with my radius or increased the tension, and I haven't hinged a lot, which reduced the tension. So again, setting up our radius, so I'm measuring to the tops of the grass or the bottom of this golf ball. It's setting up on a little piece of grass. We're gonna move it in the backswing with a little chest turn. We're gonna retain the radius or the tension on the band. From there, can we rotate or relocate onto that lead side where I can kind of bounce in the heel and almost tap the right toe? So I transported my arms, or if you think that I created a Y, I moved the Y back and I moved the Y forwards. My Y wasn't getting smaller and it wasn't getting bigger, but I was retaining the radius in this motion. Let's take a look with the 3 wood. So here I brought a 3 wood into the picture. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the little clasps here, take it off the shaft. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my 3 wood and 7-iron in the same positions I played them. And I'm going to secure the TourStriker PlaneMate in a roughly the same position. Because what we're going to do, once we get the 3 wood in our hands, or this could be a hybrid, I'm going to place another ball. I'm going to put this golf ball kind of sitting down in the rough. From there, I'm going to nestle up to it and get close to it, but I'm still going to set my radius. And you can see I'm gripping down on the club, so my lead hand's down on the graphite here. So again, we're going to set our radius. We're going to retain the length. We're not going to go longer or shorter. So radius, measuring to the bottom of the ball, retain it, rotate it, and due to having less loft, it's just enough loft to kind of get rolling through this grass, but once it gets to green, it's going to roll more like a putt. So you saw in that video, I made a shorter backstroke with the 3 wood than I did with the 7-iron, but the motions were the same. Again, the recap, we're going to set the radius, we're going to retain it as we turn back, and we're going to rotate through and balance on that left side. Let's take a look down the line and face on. So here we are down the line. I got my 7-iron back in my hands here. What you would see on the short game is, for a full swing motion, I'd be this far away from the golf ball. But as we're working on our little bump and runs, I'm going to move into the golf ball. That toe's going to go into the grass and the heel's going to come up a little bit. And now the club's coming on a steeper angle to me. There's my little setup. So we're going to go radius, left arm's comfortably long. We're going to retain the tension as I turn my chest in the backswing. So retain, and then can we rotate our body? And you can see that that golf ball came out about knee high and rolled on the grass. So here we are face on. Again, I'm going to set up narrow stance, ball's in the middle of that narrow stance, and I'm going to set my radius. I'm going to take that radius down to the bottom of the ball, If it was sitting up on taller grass, it might be higher. If it's sitting lower, I'm going to find the bottom of that ball. So we got our radius with the lead arm. We're going to retain the radius and the length, and then we're going to rotate and relocate on the way through. And what you'll notice is there's my golf club on the inside of the target line. This white stick is projecting straight down the target line. As I came through, I wasn't trying to go down the target line. And what you'll see is I'm reaching, or I'm changing the radius as I'm doing that. If we maintain the radius on the backswing and rotate on the way through, you can see because it's swinging around my sternum, this club travels up and in on the way through. In the backswing, it goes up and in on the backswing as well, so it's not going straight back, which I'd stretch my arm out to make that happen. So again, we're going to pull a ball in place, put it in some random lies so you can keep practicing your lies. Narrow stance, set the radius. We're going to retain it and we're going to rotate. So use this idea with or without the PlaneMate to set your radius, retain the length as you turn the body, and rotate through into a balanced finish and relocate to that lead side. That way you can control the club face and the strike more often to have better success.